Good morning. It's a beautiful spring day in Woodland Park.
Mr. Sam's.
Mr. Bergman.
We're in front of the Panther.
We are. This is our Panther.
Yeah, we're at Woodland Park, Colorado. And if you look over my head, it's easy to see over my head because I'm like short. You see Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this from outside of Woodland Park, you actually realize we live in a beautiful place.
We do. Those of you who live here, you hopefully you haven't gotten too used to that view.
Because it's still amazing. As I was riding my bicycle this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, we live in a beautiful place.
We do. Well, we're your chemistry teachers. I'm Mr. Sam's.
And I'm Mr. Bergman.
And we're going to be taking you through this little journey we call chemistry this year. And this is your first introduction to podcasting. This is how you're going to receive most of your instruction this year.
So you're going to see podcasts. So instead of us lecturing in front of the chalkboard, you're going to watch your podcasts as your lecture at home.
Yeah.
And so we want to encourage you to do a number of things. Now, as you watch this first introductory podcast, I want you to make sure that you understand there are a number of things that you're going to watch. Like, what are they going to see?
Well, they're going to see video like they're seeing right now.
Like
yeah.
Good mugs of you and I.
Exactly. Aren't we beautiful?
You need to shave.
I know. I usually do.
This is in high definition.
Once a week, whether I need it or not. That's right. High definition shavage.
Yes, indeed.
That's right.
To shave.
You're also going to see screen capture. You're going to see what's on our computer screen, kind of like a PowerPoint slideshow, and we'll be writing on that, working out some problems.
Yeah.
And
you'll see some cool demos. So we'll show you a cool demo here in this particular podcast. Some chemicals mixing and doing some cool things.
Right. So for the remainder of this lesson, we're basically going to teach you
how to watch a podcast.
How to watch a podcast, because there is an art to it. You can't just turn it on and go eat some Fruit Loops and text your friend, do a bunch of stuff. It's going to take some focus, and you're going to really become friendly with the pause button.
Yeah, and you'll hear from some students too who will tell you that very thing.
Exactly.
Watch the podcast. If you don't watch the podcast, you will not be successful in this class.
It's very important.
And so make sure that you do that.
Here we go.
Welcome back. Mr. Bergman.
Mr. Sam's. And typically you're going to see us sitting right here or in one of our rooms making these from our desk here.
Yep. So I've got the pen, so I can use the pen, and I talk funny sometimes.
Yes.
I can use the pen to write with on the screen. And that is a good thing to write on the screen sometimes. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
So here we have Chemistry Podcast from Woodland Park High School. That's right. We're going to introduce podcasting today, huh? So, all right. Let's see if we can do that. Now, first of all, we're going to be doing something called a screencast. Now, Mr. Sam's, what is a screencast?
Well, it casts from your screen. Basically, it's just going to take a recording of what we're putting on the screen. So it's kind of like a PowerPoint slideshow, and we can draw on it. And so you'll see some text, and we'll work out some problems, and some pictures fly in every once in a while.
So we have a picture flying. Oh, there's a picture of Mr. Sam's and Mr. Bergman.
Hey,
We've got like...
I've got cesium and water. What do you
yeah,
have?
I've got thermite.
Nice.
I think thermite wins.
It might. Yours reacts slower, though. Mine reacts faster.
Yeah, that's true. So you might beat me to the punch.
That's true.
The crazy scientists. We are crazy.
Yep.
The crazy scientists, we do things. And so notice here that I can write on the slide. Okay, and I can do like chemical equations.
Yeah.
Like a cesium plus water. And of course that makes what?
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Well, it makes cesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas, plus the key thing that's most interesting is lots of energy. It goes kaboom. There you go. So you can see we can write. So this is just kind of like our chalkboard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we basically have a glorified chalkboard that gets recorded. Yeah. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you a video demonstration that is a chemical reaction that a couple of students of ours did.
Yep.
And so you're going to watch that now.
Okay, so we've got nitric acid in here, and we're going to drop 2 copper pennies, and that's and then we're going to stop it up with the stopper, and that's going to create a brown gas, NO2, and it's going to create copper ions, so that'll be a blue solution, and it's going to create an acid in here, and that'll push out and go into this flask, which is a flask of sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide will react with the acid and push back here, and as this flask gets more basic, it'll turn pink because we've got some phenolphthalein in there, and it'll create red, white, and blue.
All right, let's see if it works. It's okay. Experimental error.
All over the board. So far we've got brown, and green.
Oh, I think we needed it lower. Our liquid's lower in the middle flask, or our glass lower in the middle flask.
Coming back.
Yep.
Hey, look. Holy crap, it's blue.
Cool.
Is it supposed to get unblue?
I
No.
think it's getting lighter.
It's the red, white, and blue reaction.
Is the middle? Is it gonna
Middle
make
should
precipitate?
stay. No, middle should stay clear.
Because it's acidic. It's going to stop when this gets below the line.
It'd be cool if you could start back some hydroxides and make some sort of white precipitate.
Right at 20 minutes. Look, 19 minutes and some change.
Cool.
So now that you've watched that cool video with our great, amazing students,
Yeah.
we can also talk today about this importance of pausing the video.
Yeah, let's
Mr.
say you were
Sims?
watching that reaction go on, and as they were explaining it, or we end up explaining it, you didn't quite get what they were saying. Well, normally, if you're sitting in class and you don't quite get what the teacher's saying, what do? Hey, what do they say? I don't get it. And then you get in trouble for talking, right? Well, now you just hit the pause button, and you rewind it, and you watch it again, and you can get it. You can get caught up. So use the pause button. Never before have you been able to pause your teacher, but you can now. Please do it. Use it. Use it often.
Use the pause button, guys. And we're going to talk fast. Sometimes we talk very, very fast, and you
No,
get
no,
very
no, no, no. And Mr. Bergman has some crazy accent. You
and
can't
you-
understand him.
Pause the video. Really, the key thing, guys, that I want to emphasize, this is Mr. Bergman, is that you must very, very much watch the podcast carefully. You cannot be doing 15 things at once. You need to give your attention. Did I spell that right? I don't know.
All right. Yeah, it looks right.
Close enough. Attention to the podcast. Do not try and multitask too many things at the same time.
Correct.
Okay, and where should you do these, Mr. Sams? Where should you watch the podcast?
Well, wherever you have a convenient device, but at home is best, not in class. Okay,
Actually-
class time's for other stuff.
Maybe not necessarily at home. You could do it at the baseball
Out of
game.
class.
The outside of class. The podcast should be watched outside of class.
Right.
Outside of class. Did you hear that? Where are you going to watch them?
Not in class.
Why not?
Because there's other stuff to do in class.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
Like-
we've flipped everything on its head now.
Yeah, that's right. So what are you going to do in class?
Well, we're going to do labs. You're gonna
Labs?
do
Okay,
your-
good. I like labs.
You're going to do
I could,
your
like, play with
worksheet
chemicals?
Stuff. Yeah, you can.
Cool.
Chemicals. We're going to do chemical demonstrations
Demonstrations?
for you. And Mr. Bergman and I are going to walk around and we're going to spend a lot of time one-on-one leaning over your shoulder going, hey, what are you working on? Hey, do you get it? Hey, you don't get that. Let's fix that. Hey, you're doing awesome.
You're going to get help to understand it?
You
Really?
are,
So
yeah.
I'm going to get help if I get
You
startled.
are. Lots of it.
Lots of help. Oh,
Yep.
that's good.
Just make sure you ask.
Ask. Okay, good. Hey, now we're going to watch a short little clips, or several little clips, of some students of ours who have been in chemistry, and they will give you some advice about what you should
Yeah.
do.
How to succeed in this class.
All right.
Do your work, keep up on your podcasts, or you will suffer greatly, fall behind, and it'll be really hard to work back up.
Okay, my advice to all you newbies in chemistry is to take notes on podcasts, because if you don't, then you're pretty much gonna have fun the rest of the year without those notes.
Cool.
Go.
Yep, you're on.
Okay, my advice for you would be to watch the podcast, because if you don't, then you're not going to know what you're doing. Yes, you're going to fail.
So, Mr. Sams, I need to figure out how I'm going to access these podcasts.
Yeah, you've
I
gotta
need
be able to get them.
I need to be able to watch them. So,
Yep.
I'm not very technological. So, what do
Well,
I need to
the
do?
nice thing is that if you're at school here in Woodland Park, you can just log into any of the computers and you can get these. There's something called the P drive. It's called podcasts. Go to Start My Computer and then look for the P drive, and they're all on there. For any class that's podcasting, it's there. Now, the key to that is you're going to want to get a flash
You know what?
drive.
Before you do that, Mr.
Oh, yeah,
Sims,
sure.
hold on. So here we're on the screen here, guys. I got my mouse here. I'm going to click on the Start button.
Yep.
And I'm going to go where, Mr. Sims?
My Computer.
My computer.
And then look for the P
Now,
drive
there's-
called
it says
podcast.
network drives
Yep.
right here. So
Yep.
you see these network drives. You want to find one called a podcast. There it is.
Right there.
And so what you do is you double click on the podcast folder, and there are lots of folders here.
Mm-hmm.
And notice one, there's actually one called
Chemistry.
Chemistry.
That's
You
ours.
get there, and there are tons of podcasts right
Yep.
there.
Might look a little different than that when you guys get it. We're going to do a little cleanup this summer.
Yeah,
But,
but same idea.
yeah.
And so you can get them from that way. It's
yeah.
very, very simple.
Now the key to this is to get yourself a flash drive or some
Gotta have
sort
one
of
of those flash
portable data storage transfer things. Okay, get a good size one. Get the biggest one you can afford. They're pretty cheap these days. So you don't want to show up with like a little 256 that your dad got free at a trade show or something. Okay, get like a 2 gig or something like that. They're like
Or better.
$15 now, something like that. They're pretty
Not
cheap.
horribly. And then probably prices are coming down.
And guys, you're going to use this in all your classes, okay? It's not just going to be in here. You're going to be transferring files all the time in school. So get a flash drive.
Get a flash drive.
It's probably one of the better investments you'll make while you're in school here.
And guys, you can also get these on your portable media devices.
Yep, bring them in. We can load them. So, if you have an iPod or a Zune or a Zen or whatever you're watching
Or
these on.
if you're watching this 3 years from now, it'll be there's
Something else. Who knows?
But
Yeah.
portable media device of some variety will play these podcasts. So that way you can take it portable with
Yeah,
you.
cell phones. If you've got a little,
Micro SD card.
a little
portable.
card, bring it in. We can load them up. And it plays on most phones, not all, but bring it in. We'll try it out.
Yeah. So guys, the key is we really want you to have a great, successful year in
Yep.
chemistry, and we know you can. A couple of key things that I think you've already seen. What would be one thing, Mr. Sands?
Watch the lessons. You've got to watch them. Every time you skip a podcast, it's just like skipping class and not being there for a teacher's live lecture.
And if you get behind, it's going to hurt you. Big
Yeah,
time.
it's kind of hard to get caught up.
And chemistry really builds on itself. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't understand part A, then part B is going to be almost impossible. So you got to understand A to B to C to D.
Right.
So make sure that you follow things in order, guys. You can do this. We've had students be very successful for years and years. So welcome to chemistry. We're excited for this opportunity to get to know you better and to help you become amazing learners.
Yes, enjoy. Hope you like them.
Bye.